Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this news video of our latest quarter, 2019.2. Firstly, I'm going to show you 3 new features in our 2D layout, and I'm going to start with the machine table template drawing. It will show you the workspace of your machine. So I will start by making a rectangle in the 0 point of the drawing, and our machine is 2000 by 1000, so I'll make the size of our machine in the workshop, and it looks like this. Now I'm going to save this as a template, and I'll go to the Cam tab and select and the machine settings, and I go all the way in the drop down to various, and I say machine layout templates for, I will call it IGEMS, and I will save it. Save template. Okay, I overwrite this. Save. Okay, so when I open a new drawing like this and I select my machine IGEMS, this template will show us the machine table, which can be quite useful to know the workspace you're working on. Next thing I want to show you is a rectangular sheet command, which is a faster way of making sheets. Before, you could make a rectangle like this, create sheets, and do like this. Now in the drop down sheet we have a rectangle, and you can say I want to click here and I want to make it 300 by 300, and it automatically becomes a sheet. So that's the second one. The third one is a stretch part command. So if I make a simple part like this, I want to start by making the drawing. I create the part like this, okay, and I create the toolpath like this. Now I want to make this 100 millimeters bigger to the right, so I can go to part, and we have a new command called stretch part. So I select this side, hit enter, and I click on an anchor point wherever I want to, and I can type 100 like that, and it becomes 100. And the nice thing about this is that the toolpath extends with the part, so I don't have to explode the part. This also works for, let's see here, stretch part for the hole. So if I would select the hole like this and I want to move it 50 mil, it moves 50 millimeter. So that's 3 news from our 2D layout. Next up, we'll show you the TBL system. So we made a new TBL formula to increase the quality of our cut. The TBL formula stands for taper angle control, variable offset control, and lag. And these are the 3 main compensation factors for the TBL formula. The taper angle control will tilt the jet to maintain the edge perfectly straight. If you have a slow feed, the jet will eat more on the bottom side of the part than the upper side. If you go fast, it will do the opposite. It will eat more on the top than the bottom. And there is this golden perfect speed for every material that will create a straight cut, but that's not necessarily the fastest way of cutting. So we want to go fast but tilt the jet and also maintain the straight line, straight edge. So that's taper angle control. The variable offset control will offset the toolpath, because as I said, if you go slower, it will eat out more of the material. So we have to offset the toolpath where the feeds are slower, and that's often in the corners. So you see it goes out in the corner right here, and we also have an inner corner in here where we go out further from this red line, which is the contour command. And this is the blue line is the actual NC toolpath. So that's the variable offset control. The last one is the lag. Before the jet was going straight down and we had this splash, the red line, but we are actually tilting the jet forward now. So the entry position should be the same as the exit position, like this. The TBL formula will work for, let's see here, we go to select and material. It will work with aluminum, mild steel and stainless steel so far. And you have to use a certain machine setup. So you have to use orifice 10 and mixing tube 30, or orifice 14 and mixing tube 40, and use that with 3600 bars. If you don't cut this kind of material, or if you use another machine setup, we will use the old values from the old database. So it won't be any problems. It will cut just the same as before. But if you have this kind of materials and you use this machine setup, you will get a better result. If you do want to use the TBL formula, just make sure to select one of these three materials and you select the TBL formula for the material and for your machine setup. And also under process cutting parameters, you select your cutting parameter, one of these TBL formula parameters, which if they're in brackets, you cannot change the values here. So then you just go ahead in your process and you cut your piece. The next thing I want to show you is in the 3 to 5x environment. And we've made some nice features. We have added, just like the 2D environment, you can add to quick access toolbar like this. So you get simulate command and maybe the section command. So all of these will be up here. It doesn't matter which tab you're on, they will all show them right there. You can also put them in a custom toolbar like this. If you want to remove them, just right click and delete. Oh yeah, to select them you have to right click and you add them to quick access toolbar or custom toolbar. If you want to delete them from here, you also right click and delete. We have also, when you generate the NC file from 3 to 5x, you can save up to 30% of the file size. So that's also a nice feature. And another good feature is the export step, and I know many people wanted this. You just export your step file from IGEMS basically. Another thing is we've added some other samples. Some of these samples were here before, but some of them are new. And I want to open this one and show you a new feature. I'm just going to add some curves here, and we add toolpaths with the auto command. I'll add this one, then this, and then this. And I'll just make some nice rapids. Okay, so now when it cuts, it will first cut this one, then this one, and then the middle one. This is not too hard to change. I want to cut this one last, so I just click on this arrow and it will change the cutting order of these. Let's say I would have a lot of holes to cut, and I don't want to sit and click on these arrows to figure this out. There is a new sorting command, this one, so I can sort the closest, or I can sort left to right. So let's just sort this one left to right like this, and you see it will, this one, the middle one, and the right one. So that's a nice feature, especially if you have a lot of holes or if you have a lot of parts to cut. Now the last thing I want to show you is, I've prepared this part already. Yes. If I want to simulate this one, we have some new features here. We can remove the toolpaths from the simulation. We can also use this transparent if we want to, and we have a collision detection. Then you have to be sure to have your right cutting head in the simulation. So I can start here, and you see there's a collision right here. Right there, it's a collision. Let's just go on, and we see this new TBL formula. It really shows how the jet is tilting, even for a straight hole. So that's it for the IGEMS News 2019.2. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be back with more news in the next quarter. Until then, take care. Bye.